Welcome everybody. Wolverine Kid here, back again. How's everybody doing? Like I said, guys, for 2 months, my comic reviews will be on my main channel. And once October rolls around, yeah, the comic reviews go back to the review channel as they're supposed to. But like I said, I'm trying something new as always. I got a huge list here, guys. Not only am I covering, I'm covering 2 months, two weeks of books here. I'm covering the books that came out for August 8th, 17th, and August 24th. So I got two stacks of books. I have the last books, um, the uh, the 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 books that came out for the 31st will be up soon as well. But let's get to these books. So I got like big, like I said, I got. See, here we go. And I'm gonna just try to run through these bad boys as quickly as I can. Now, of course, these books have been out for a while, so but I'm still gonna try to review them as if they have not been. You never read them. So let's start off with the books that came out for the 17th of August, and I only have one indie. I only bought one indie that week, and everything is Marvel and DC. So we're gonna kick it off with the one indie book, and that's from Zenescope. Zenescope, and that is none other than Robin Hood. I Love New York, the 12-part maxi series. Um, Avino, and Areno do the artwork. First of all, I love the cover of Robin and Red Riding Hood, or Agent Red Agent. That's the Red Riding Hood character on it. So in this issue, Robin is drawn into the employment of her employee. She's find out that her employer that's hired her may be someone that more than meets the eye, and pretty much she finds out that it's a vendetta. And the person that her client is actually the is not so good. They are pretty much there is drug trafficking, human trafficking, or in terms of people who come from the different worlds of the Zenoscope world, like the Mist and Wonderland and all that. They're called highborns, and we're seeing a lot of highborns being trafficked around the world and things like that. And of course, Robin gets a little help from her friend Riding Hood here, who is an agent who deals with this kind of and is more has more intel on what's going on, and it was really good. Um, it ends kind of on a cliffhanger of basically it's not over in terms of the bigger threat that's coming, but this is still a good job. You know, I still miss Pat Chant on the writing, but so far after 3 issues of reading this 12-part maxi, the people who are doing this now, Oivino and Areno, doing a good job. All right, let's move on to the Marvel books, and we're gonna go into all new Wolverine, number 11. Taylor still does a good job with this. Pretty much, it's Cap um, at the doorstep of Wolverine. They want to speak to Old Man Logan because Ulysses had a vision of Old Man Logan killing someone. And throughout this whole issue, you know, there are shield agents all around the apartment. They're to the north, they're to the south, they're everywhere. Cap comes in there and he is pretty much just trying to be peacemaker, be peacekeeper. You know, it's funny how he's being written here, but in you read in his story, he's written so differently. Just shows you how much. What's that old saying? You know, the chameleon is showing his true colors. You know, something like that. Yeah. But in this, pretty much, we get to see that like I said, Steve is playing Peacemaker, and the funniest thing is Gabby. You know, she as soon as she sees Steve, she's saluting him and everything like that. It's so funny. Gabby is just so great, and I don't want to spoil. Even though this book has been out for a couple of weeks now, I still don't want to spoil it. But something goes down in here that is very nerve wracking, and it makes you wonder: is Ulysses, his vision is true? Is it really true? All right, let's move on to Black Widow #6. Right, yeah, this is #6. Wade Somney do the artwork. Wade basically, after the Weeping Lion has blackmailed Natasha into revealing her secrets, uh, all bets are off now. All bets are off, and Natasha is just like, screw this now. I'm not the prey anymore. I'm the hunter. And she does involve a little bit of Tony gets involved, but she needs him for a certain reason. And she plays Tony like a fiddle, and he fell for it. I was just like, yeah, geez, Tony, how long have you known Natasha, and you still can't read her very well? But she does find out the identity of said Weeping Lion, and man, does she lay it into him really well and really good, to the point where I was just like, yeah, Natasha still got it, you know. Um, I'm not gonna ruin what she does, but it was good. All right, Captain America, Sam Wilson, #12. Spencer Acuna does the artwork. Um, Still dealing with the AmeriCops situation, as well as Spencer still continues to ride the whole political route with this title. You got these senators and bureaucratic jackasses in here still pulling that bullshit storyline that I'm getting kind of sick of, and you know, the whole thing of that they don't like Sam with the shield, and it's even going as hashtag give back the shield. There's a great backstory. There's a great flashback in the beginning that I really enjoyed, where you see Cap come into a police station and lock up, and he's arguing with a cop, and you're hearing somebody else talking to him, and you find out that the cop had arrested Sam as Falcon. He's in his, and not only is he's Falcon, he's in his classic Falcon look. So this flashback is supposed to take place before Sam got the wings from Black Panther in his red and white costume. He's in his orange and green costume, and Sam was actually stopping the trapster, and the cop mistaken Sam as the villain and the trapster as an avenger, and it's just like, really? And you know, Steve is just saying, I'm really sorry about this, Sam, and you know, Sam's just like, it ain't your fault, Cap, you know. But then we fast forward into the present, and Sam is once again trying to play peacemaker, you know, with these riots, you know, with these AmeriCops. And you know, he's trying to keep Rage calm and everything like that before Rage escalates the situation even more. And he's telling Rage, he's saying, Rage, shut up and stand back, you know, come on, Cap, let's take him. And and Sam's just like, stop, like, stop, let me handle this. In the meantime, we have these senators and bureaucrat assholes bring in one John Walker, aka U.S. agent, and they're basically telling him, you know, we want you to go out there and literally almost saying, "Hey, put an end to Sam. You know, tell him to give back the shield to, you know." And John is like, "Look, me and Sam ain't really, we're not really close, but this is not my job. And they're these assholes are doing everything they can to show, basically saying like, look, Mr. Walker, you were Captain America before too, which is true. He was. You were Captain, but when Steve wanted to ask for the shield back, you gave it back to him. So they're pulling all this crap, and it's just to the point. That's what I'm getting tired of. And the one line that is instantly, no matter what, I'm sorry, Mr. Spencer, I gotta say it, but I'm getting really tired of seeing it every time they say, "Well, Sam Wilson is Captain America," and then off in this panel, here's somebody else say, "He's not my Cap," and it's just like, oh my God, I'm getting so sick of that. Um, they're just like, he should give back the shield. He can go back to being Falcon. We don't care. Just it's not profitable him being. It's like, what the fuck does being Captain America being profitable for you? I don't get that, and I'm just like, this is that bureaucratic bullshit that is going on right now, and nonetheless, I'm not saying it was bad, but it's just that this is kind of reining its course now, in terms of the people better. The way I look at it, the people better get with the program. There are two Captain Americas, or technically three. Get on, get over it, move on. And at half of the time, one of them ain't even who he is right now, thanks to a certain sentient cosmic cube. All right, so let's move on to Civil War. Amazing Spider-Man #3. Gage, Christos Gage did the writing. This was good. This was really good. Once again, Peter is trying everything in his power to make sure that vision that Ulysses had does not come true with his former foe Clash. They're dealing with the Robot Master. This guy looks like he comes right out of something out of Lost in Space. He seems to be the Robot Master. He knows everything about robots. However, and him and Clash deal with it. However, he has broke his parole agreement not to put on that costume or to use his sonic technology. And Peter's trying to reason with him, and it's almost like every time Peter's trying to reason and tell him like, look, we're gonna work this out, but he's finding he keeps twisting Spidey's words like, so you think I can't do this, and it's just like, it's like he didn't say that. He said this, and he just keeps twisting it and twisting it until at the end you see basically the outcome, and it basically makes you, Ulysses was right. Civil War, Gods of War 3. This was good. Once again, Abinant does a good job with this. I really wish he wasn't exclusive to DC. I wish he was able to go anywhere. But in this, Hercules is pretty much enchanted, and he's in full rage mode, and it's getting to the point where even some of the Avengers, some Captain America, Spider-Man, Carol Danvers, Medusa, have to come and help, and the other gods, are also there to help him as well, and they're trying to tell Steve that why this is happening to Hercules. Gilgamesh is talking to him, and they're just like, "Whoa, Gilgamesh!" Spidey's like, "Whoa, I haven't seen you in years." You know, they're telling him that there's new gods out there, and they're enchanted. Put a curse on Herc, and they're just saying, where are they? And they're pointing at them. They can't see them, but they're there. They're like, the gods are actually sticking their tongue out, doing childish things like, "Yeah, you typical mortals, you can't see me." And when finally, I love how Herc is able to come back to his senses. I thought that was really clever. But in the end, Herc is really hurt. He's hurt seeing the destruction of what he did, and you know, I didn't really approve of what Carol said to Hercules. I'm like, come on, Carol, like what was that? Was that really necessary? You know, kick him while he's down. You know, it was that point. I was just like, come on, Carol. But other than that, this was good. This was good, and I've been really enjoying this tie-in to Civil War. All right, moving on to Thor, Mighty Thor, number 10. Aaron's does a good job. Still does a good job with this. Shield is supposedly closing in on, yeah, the kind of the cover gives it away. Jane Foster, put that hammer down. You're under arrest. Pretty much, they're still dealing with Agar again, Darius, and Shield is still dealing with trying to figure out the Shield agent that are assigned to figure out if Jane Foster and Thor are the same person. There's a lot of twists and turns, and they confront Thor and like put the shield down. And I love how Jane was just like, screw that, and she just has Mjolnir just shooting out lightning at them, like, you know, now try to get past this. It's basically, she was like, try to get past this bitch. You know, you ain't get past me. And the ending, I was just like, yeah, okay, we know who that is. Because basically they like, yeah, Jane Foster, blah blah blah. Next, you know, a rainbow bridge opened up, and here comes Jane Foster. You don't got to be a rocket scientist to know who that is. Power Man and Iron Fist number 7. This is a tie into Civil War II. Walker does a good job with this. Yeah, Danny's in prison. He's in jail, and Luke, poor Luke, he's trying. He doesn't know what to do, you know. And instead of Danny calling out to Luke, he calls out to his ex-girlfriend. He calls out to Misty. It was really interesting to see Misty Knight and Danny together again, but it was almost to the point not so much, because Misty Knight, she's kind of like, you know, like, I thought you would have called Luke instead of me. And so when she reports to Luke about everything, you know, she's like, look, you know, that's not the Danny that I fell in love with. He's broken. You know, he's almost like he's broken. And Danny's trying to keep a low profile in prison because he's scared that people may know who he is. We get to see Colleen Wing. She's also in there in this book. She's with Jessica Jones, helping Jessica with baby Danielle. And they even say, like, Colleen and Misty are broken up. Like, their former, it says at the bottom, it said Colleen Wing, former ex-partner to Misty Knight. So I'm like, so the Daughters of the Dragon are no more? I'm like, damn. You know, Misty's gone off. I know she's doing her thing with Sam, but it's just like, you know, that's your girl. Like, that's your girl, Misty. Like, I would think you would have time for Colleen, but she had no speaking roles. She was just there in the kind of. But uh, this was good nonetheless. And once again, Ulysses again shows up in this book. This is why it's tied in, and pretty much Ulysses says there's going to be a prison break, and Luke Cage are involved. And now you see Carol enlist the likes of Storm, Deathlock, uh, Mockingbird, and some other people to stop. And I'm just like, yeah, this is they're kind of abusing Ulysses. He's being, just like, yeah. Spider-Woman number 10. Hopeless Rodriguez. Um, this was interesting. Pretty much the most interesting part about it is Jessica finding out about Clint. Remember, they used to date. They were a couple, and that's pretty much the big thing right there, is she hearing about Clint is the one that killed Bruce Banner, and he's in jail and everything like that, and she's on the phone with Carol at the time, and yeah, that was probably the best part about it. All right, let's move on to the DC books. And we'll start off with Aquaman #5. Having it, yeah. This was good. Mira, oh Mira, don't fuck with Mira. Yeah. This is pretty much action packed from point A to point B. Uh, you got Mira and Arthur just mowing through this battalion of arm, army dudes. Even to the point where you just see her ripping off Mira's just ripping off tank heads and things like that. Um, and Arthur's trying to tell, like, look, we're not trying to hurt them. Don't hurt them, Mira. She keeps telling them that. He keeps saying, Mira, don't hurt them. Um, we get a little bit more of with what's going on with Black Manta, which was interesting. But one of the coolest thing is Mira using her, I guess, her hydrokinesis to absorb the water that's in the machines of the tanks, and I thought that was really interesting. Uh, and then it's the ending that really just like I knew it was coming. They run into old Big Blue. Batgirl, Birds of Prey #1. The Jensens just showcasing this that there's an uneasy alliance between Babs, Canary, and Helena. Helena knows who they are, but they're just really like, really kind of like torn between should we trust this huntress? She's got a murderous vendetta, and we need more leads to figure out who this new Oracle is. And that's pretty much the basis of this. Nothing really wowed me with this issue, but it was solid. It was solid reading. Nothing more, nothing less. Batman #6. King Finch. All right, basically in this kind of just showcased how PO'd Gotham is. And what I mean by that is he is able to take down the Justice League just like that. And I'm not just talking about just the Justice League. I'm talking about every member, including Big Blue, Superman himself. He just pimp slaps the hell out of Superman, and Clark is down. I'm like, okay, this guy's way too PO'd. It's stuff like that. I'm just like, really? Because it's never really questioned how strong Gotham really is. But then it's just like, wait a minute, how is he that strong if he was having trouble holding up a bridge in a few issues before that? I couldn't get that. And then you have Gotham Girl who is with Luke. Yeah, Luke. Luke, the new one of Bruce's new partners. Things like that. Probably the funniest thing is Alfred in the Bat costume, and he comes out and he's like, "I'm Batman. Move away, citizens," and everything like that. It's just like, and then Gotham's like, "Who are you?" "I'm Batman." "No, you're not." That was funny. I thought that was hilarious. All right, Green Arrow #5. Percy, this I don't know what you're doing, Percy, but you're really keeping me glued with this. I guess this is the conclusion of the first story arc with the underground men and Ollie, and we find out that M.V.K, his sister, did what she did to protect her brother. Cue the music. Oh, yeah. Um, she chose her brother over her mother, and I thought that was really cool. But it ends pretty like shit, really. But this was good nonetheless. The artwork I've been liking too. Ferreira, Ferreira. I'm probably butchered the name. I apologize. But no, this is Green Arrow has been really good, really really good, guys. Okay. Green Lanterns #5. Humphrey Roca's. Boy. The two rookies are taking the fight to the Atrocitus and the Red Lanterns. Red Dawn is approaching, and Simon and Jessica are doing everything in their power to stop it. But as insecure as Jessica is, she realized that she's getting really scared, and she's feeling like she's losing that spark of hope and will that a Green Lantern needs. Simon, on the other hand, he's doing everything he can. There's even a point where he goes toe to toe with Atrocitus, and he even tried, I believe, to cure Atrocitus of his rage, like he did Belize, but ain't happening. Atrocitus was born of rage, and that ain't working. Um, and Simon is at the mercy of Atrocitus. While literally you see Jessica quivered in the corner, just scared, and it's just like this basically came off as the bad guys win for now. Harley Quinn #2. Still just continue to be fun and goofy and not to taken too seriously. The zombie apocalypse is still going on. Just fun stuff. Until at the end of the issue, Harley gets a little help from a certain someone that she knows and loves very much. You all should know what I'm talking about. This was good. This was just fun. Justice League #3. All right, Hitch, Daniels. Okay, now we're starting to get some more, and the more this keeps going on, the more I'm trying to understand it. I'm starting to get more of an understanding of it. But the biggest thing is the fact that Batman needs Superman to go into the center of the earth. And he's on the Kent farm and everything like that. And, you know, of course Superman's going to do it. Of course Big Blue's going to do it. But it's just like Lois is very hesitant about it. And so hesitant was when till after he left, she literally said, if anything happens to him, his death will be, she's blaming Batman for his death. I was like, Nightwing #3, Seeley Fernandez. Oh, Dick, did you truly ruin your friendship with Babs over talent? That's the biggest question. Is taking down the Council of Owls so important that Dick loses his moral conscience of doing what's right and what's wrong? You know, looking at it from a point of view, not just black and white. These are the questions that are being asked in this issue, and yes. Okay, Supergirl Rebirth. First of all, I got the Adam Huge cover. I'm a huge Adam Huge fan. He's one of my favorite artists. I know he does a lot of cover art, but yeah, I love it. So I was like, yeah, I gotta get this. So we got Orlando and Lucchino. Basically, in the beginning of this, Kara has lost her powers. She gets a little help from the DEO director to give her powers back. You see her and her adopted parents, the Danvers, and she works for the DO basically. You know, it's a little bit of a what's going on in the show. There's a Kandorian or a Kryptonian or so who's come and he's a lot different. And he goes on. He's doing this because Kara's dad, Zor-El, did experiments on him, and it gets really interesting from there. Uh, because of Kara's gotten her powers back, she kind of owes the director Do a favor, and you know the help. The basically they're saying is like, you help us, we help you. So when she's not helping the Do, she is, you know, Kara Danvers' mom and her high school student, and I was just like, okay, her way of trying to fit in better, because they already show that she's tried that before, but it kind of ended miserably. But other than that, not bad, not bad at all, not bad at all. Superman Rebirth #5. Oh my God, this was really good. My only real things that I had a problem with Mr. Tomase with this was like, so Batman has a bat cave on the moon. Really? So Clark is still dealing with the Eradicator. And I love Jonathan, you know, he's stay away from my dad. I love seeing Clark as a dad. And, you know, and Jonathan is just showcasing he's not scared. He'll fight, you know, to protect his dad. And of course, Lois proves that yeah, she's a good mom too. She'll do so much to the point she jumps into a bat suit, an armored suit, and she's able to control it. I'm just like, okay, Lois, you're able to control this. But this was good nonetheless. Superman #5. All right, so that's all the books that came out for the 17th that I picked up. We're gonna move on to the books that came out for the 24th. All right, and this I have 3 Marvel, a whole lot of indie, and of course DC. So let's start off with the Marvel again. Captain America, Steve Rogers, #4. Spencer Pina. All right, this is not technically a tie-in, just really to Civil War. They say one thing that kind of gives it like, okay. My problem with this is the pricing. Like, this was not really worth a $4.99 price tag. But just shows you that how much of a lot of storytelling, a lot of exposition, just shows you that Steve, now that he's kind of under control, you know, he's willing to just cross the line and take life just like that on a drop of a dime. Not even, and he does cross the line. He kills somebody, a famous villain too. I'm not even going to ruin who that villain was, but let me just say that villain pertains a lot to the Fantastic Four. I will say that. Uh, and that's pretty much the big gist of it. You know, you see more flashbacks, more present stuff. What's Steve's plan, and who will it be executed? How many people will he be getting on? And the big gist is he sees Hydra doing more. There's a hearing for Maria Hill at, you know, and but it's yeah. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry about that, Eddie. What my whistling? My mouth getting dry. All right. Extraordinary X-Men, number 13, Lemire. Um, Ileana is tracking down kind of her protege, her and Storm, and they're jumping from different dimensions trying to find her. Meanwhile, you have Kurt and Bobby trying to find Colossus, who's still under control by, the apocalypse. And Kurt is really losing it big time. And it's really tough to see Kurt doing that. And it's to the point where, he's ready to kill people if they don't give him what he wants. And it's Bobby's line that I really love is where he's like, we can't lose ourselves and things like that. Good stuff, just showcasing that even though they're going through some tough times, Bobby's not gonna lose himself into rage and anger. That's good. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, number 10. Once again, Miss Reader just does a good job with this. This is just a fun book. Moon Girl is technically now the smartest person in the Marvel Universe. She's smarter than Tony Stark and Reed Richards. Not bad for a 10-year-old girl, I think. And the thing is, that's not her inhuman power either. She's always been smart. But anyway, this issue has Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan. And Kamala comes to stop Lupina and the Kree boy from just being stupid. And Lupina explained everything to her, to Kamala, for what's going on. And I love Kamala, being that she's the biggest fanboy or fangirl of all the Marvel heroes. The Kree boy is wearing a classic Captain Marvel look, and she calls him out on his BS, like, you're doing all this, but you're wearing Captain Marvel's classic look, and he swore to protect people like this. This was fun. I love where Vena's like, look, I don't want anything to do with you. Leave me alone. And you get to see a little bit more of the Kree boy. I'm forgetting his name because they call him Kid Kree. That could have been better. But yeah, you get to see his parents, and his father's just as, it's just crazy, but this is good. All right. All right. Move on to the indie books. We'll start off with Dark Horse. Conan, the Slayer, number 2. Cullen Bunn does the art writing, and Sergio Davila does the artwork. So Conan is still recovering from his dilemma from the first issue, but the people that he's with, especially the son of the warlord leader that they're with, don't trust Conan, and actually makes a pact with a demon to get rid of Conan. In the meantime, Conan is dealing with some of the other members of this group. He's kind of trying to earn their trust and also help out where he can. And by the end of the issue, you get to see why Conan is who he is. Not bad. Not bad at all. Once again, if you are a Conan fan like yours truly here, you will get on board with this. This was really good. All right, moving on to Chapter House Comics with issue number 1 of Northgard. Falcone Salas, Canadian Comics, 75 years. Well, once again, Charterhouse has rebooted or reintroduced another classic Canadian superhero, like they did with Captain Canuck. Now doing a Northgard, and this time Northgard. His name is Philip Philip Price. Yeah, I believe Price and one of them. Yeah, and he works for who does he work for again? What's the company? The agency he works for. He works for this agency, and he's testing out his new. Okay, this is what he looks like. Here you go. That's what he looks like. That's. But I'm trying. Okay. Oh, Philip Wise. I said Price. Wise, and he's an agent of PAC, which PAC stands for the Paranormal Activity Containment Team. It's a division of the CSIS, created to protect Canada and the world from extraordinary threats. And so, Northgard, Philip, is he's on a mission with a member of the CIA. He goes into North Montana on a mission, and the CIA can't really be held. Must be left out in the dark. They have nothing to do with this. Uh, Philip really doesn't want to wear the costume. You know, he's kind of like against it a little bit. But it gets a little hairy at times, and so bad that um, it ends with pretty much almost like an international incident. And it gets even worse because someone inside, not his organization, but another, sends someone else to get Northgard, and it's just like, ooh. But this was good. This was good nonetheless. Um, mhm. And I got the last issue of this too. This got sold out actually, all the covers, and I just was able to get the white cover. All right, Ghostbusters International #8. Oh, this is getting good, y'all. This is getting good. The team has come back to New York. They have seen the situation that's happened to Egon. Everybody's like, we got to get Egon back, everything. And of course, Wankman's gonna crack some stupid joke, and everybody turns around like, really, dude? Like, you're gonna do that? They try to figure out who is the assailant that has made Egon disappear, and more importantly, who do they get to help them? I'm not gonna ruin that. That was interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. But this was good. You talk about more good shit. Book I'm always, always looking forward to reading. TMNT #61. Eastman Waltz. This was good. Once again, Mikey has some great lines in this. I'm not gonna ruin it. Just good storytelling here that just makes you really appreciate, as a Turtle fan, makes you really appreciate what is going on in this book. I don't want to ruin anything. I really don't. Joe Books Limited Darkwing Duck. This is #3, I think. #4, excuse me. And Darkwing in this fights his most powerful enemy ever. His name is Natmare. He's a little like Nat that got superpowers, and he's nearly unbeatable. He's Dark DW has lost to him several times already, and it looks like it may be another time. Uh, they're trying to figure out how to stop him and everything like that. And are they able to stop him? Yeah, they are. But I'm not gonna ruin how it is. It was very impressive. This was just fun. Just brought back all those old memories of Darkwing Duck when I used to watch it. And yeah. Valiant Comics Faith #2. Faith meets her first kind of arch enemy, if you kind of please. Um, this guy is kind of a movie star who he plays the heroes in movies, but he's actually admires the villains more, and he kind of suckers Faith, and she's at his mercy. However, Faith is never out, and she dishes out justice, or does she? Because it ends on like a Peter David like cliffhanger. Jody Hoser and Per Perez do a good job with this. Faith #2. Good shit. And the last Valiant book that I picked up, Fred Van Lint and Francis Potella, Generation Zero #1. I saw the solicitation of this. I was like, I'm going to give this a chance. This kind of sounds like Teen Titans mixed with A-Team or so. Because the way the solicitation was wrote. But not bad at all. I did enjoy this. I dug it. I really did. I don't want to spoil it, but psychs, people who are born with powers, and it's pretty. You basically consider them, I guess, the mutants of the Valiant universe. But these are the young version that escape from their masters, if you please. But this was fun. It was good. Does make me want to come back for more. Can I say? All right. The last out of DC. Action Comics number 962. This is the conclusion of, I guess, the battle with Doomsday, and what a good conclusion. It does leave the book open to maybe will Doomsday return. How Clark is able to defeat Doomsday was really clever. I kind of figured that may be the case. Uh, and I did love the moment with Diana and Superman was really good. They actually gave a fist bump. I thought that was really cool. Uh, but we find out that was it a solid victory for Superman, or was it a false victory? Batgirl #2, um, Larson Albuquerque. First of all, I love the cover. So Babs is in Singapore, and she's down there learning more about Fruit Bat. Her and her friend, old friend Kai, get really close, and sparks fly, and let's just say bounce chicka wow wow comes around, but more importantly, Babs is down there. She also trains in MMA, and she has her first match, and it ends really weird, but it was still good nonetheless. Poor Babs. All right, here it is, Blue Beetle Rebirth #1. Giffen Collins. All right, nothing much to tell. The way they wrote this is that Jaime, he doesn't like being the Blue Beetle. He wants it over with. He is technically the first Blue Beetle, because even though Ted Kord is in this, they literally just say Ted Kord is just an obsessed, superhero obsessed, billionaire. We get to see Paco and Brittany, his friends. Uh, and we also get to see Dr. Fate is also in this. And basically, what they're saying is that the way they're describing is that the scarab is not alien technology, but it's magic. Okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. Ted Cord has never been Blue Beetle. He's just an obsessed billionaire, fanboy, if you please. Deathstroke number one, excuse me. Okay, this right here, as much as I love it, Mr. Priest, but this was all over the place. It's really hard sometimes to read. Okay, what's flashback? What's this? What's that? What's that? That's the best way to describe it. Um, but I got the gist of it. Uh, Slade is reintroduced with an old friend from his past. He rescues, or is with that's what he thinks he is. uh, Batman Detective Comics 939. This issue is pretty much all about trust, family. That's it. Um, Kate is really upset about with her cousin Batman for not telling, basically telling her that her father is a part of this group. Bruce did know, and she's basically saying like, look, if you do that again, then I'm leaving. You know, and Bruce says, I promise I won't lie to you ever again. But come on, he's gonna do it. Yeah, he's gonna do it. But other than that, this was solid, very solid. Flash number 5, Barry's Day Off. Okay, this Williamson Watanabe. All right, this was all right. Yeah, this was. Basically, we get to see Barry what he's doing on his day off and everything like that. And of course, Godspeed comes in at the end, which really got good at the end. But Mina, I believe, and her name is Fast Tracks, and she comes like the mentor to uh, New 52 Wally West and everything like that. That's pretty much it. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, number 3. All right, for Venditti, this was great. It just showcases that, yeah, even the great Hal Jordan, when you think he, usually we see him on the ropes and he pulls a rope a dope. He pulls a rope a dope and he defeats his opposition. This time around, yeah, it was really interesting to see that um, Hal couldn't overcome the power of so many Yellow Lanterns, and their power was spiking too. So, but it was good nonetheless. Titans number 2, Abinant Booth. The Titans fight the mirror images of themselves thanks to a certain someone by the name of Abracadabra. Yeah, um, which was interesting. I liked how people are seeing them and like, who are you guys? And we're the Titans, things like that. Uh, Linda Park is in this as well, and she's trying to get a little bit more detail into everything that Wally told her. The counterparts, the doppelgangers, are looking more like their younger selves and things like that. But other than that, not bad. Wonder Woman. Number 5, Greg Roca. Sharp. artwork. Um, my favorite parts are seeing the struggle that Barbara Minerva, aka Cheetah, is having with trying to control that inner demon that she has in her, as well as trying to figure out, Diane trying to figure out why she can't go back to that mascara, everything like that. In the meantime, also Steve's unit is at the clutches of their opposition, and Steve and his team are in deep doo doo. Especially Steve. However, Diana does come to help, but not for Steve yet, but for something else. But this was really, really good. I can't complain. I can't. I can't, y'all. Well, guys, that is it, guys, for 2 weeks of books. I will be back soon with the next for the books that came out for 31st. But other than that, guys, this is Mount Vernon Kid. Peace. One love. Stay tuned. Keep it real. I feel like I'm a boxer, yo. Y'all take care.